Welcome to Showing Off with Brian Newman and Angie Pontani, the podcast where we peel back the curtain, kick open the dressing room door, and get into the scene behind the scenes in the showbiz journey.
Oh, baby.
Yes, baby.
We're back. Sorry, I keep eating these glitterati.
Well, you can't eat just one.
They're amazing.
They are delicious.
I love all the Italian, like specialties.
Yes.
Like, you know, you cook a lot, and like, but there's also like all this like desserts and like St. Joseph's Day
pastries and different traditions.
Strudel and like all the beautiful stuff.
Yes, and the tradition of glitterati is your nonna has it in a bowl.
My grandma had like weird stuff though, like mince and like.
These are so good and they're so little. I love them. They're cute and they're delicious.
I can't stop eating them.
I know, no one can. Can't have just one.
What's else? What's one of the other favorite like Italian like?
I love an amaretto cookie.
Yeah.
I love pinoli cookies. I mean, you know that I am a pinoli cookie.
Yeah, the pine nut ones.
There's like
amazing.
certain things I don't share in my life. Like we know that nachos is one of those things. The other thing I don't share is pinoli cookies.
Yeah.
When we were little, we went to Italy. I literally filled my suitcase full of pinoli cookies, and I was like, no one may have these. And
they didn't search you. Now you go back with Now you come back with like meat and cheese and wine.
When we went to Italy last, Brian didn't even want to stand next to me in customs because they were like, "Do you have any food in your bag?" And I was like, "No."
Oh, there was so much food
My
in that
bag was food.
We bought an extra bag just for food.
There was like a quart of olive oil.
Yeah.
But I didn't have anything bad that was going to cause any problems.
No.
You know, don't come for me.
No, unless you started a new hoof and mouth disease in America.
No, I did not.
All those birds in Long Island, it's your fault.
Will you please leave? No, that did not come from Italy. Leave my suitcase alone. Listen, you didn't want to stand next to me in line, but you didn't have any problem eating all that stuff that I brought home.
I did eat all that stuff. I remember I went to Italy without you once because we had a gig over there, and I came home, and it was a very good gig. So I bought you a Gucci bag to put all of the stuff that I bought at the airport in the duty free. So there was like sauce and olive oil and meat and cheese and all that stuff.
And you also brought me fresh truffles.
Fresh truffles? I did sneak you back fresh truffles.
You did, and you were a little nervous about that too.
I was. I don't like breaking the law.
Which is kind of ironic.
Well, a wise man once told me, only break one law at a time.
No, I think that's pretty safe.
So it's like a little easier.
I break no laws. I am squeaky clean, but I'm coming back from Italy with a wheel of cheese and a gallon of olive oil.
Yeah, until you got to go through security at the airport.
I got through just fine.
I know. Not everyone looks like you, babe.
Oh, please. It's just my good, I give good energy. You know, I don't give Parmesan trafficker.
You give witch energy.
I am a witch.
I know. You got some new tarot cards.
I do. And what are my tarot cards?
Cacio Pepe tarot cards from one of our wonderful guests.
Yes, one of our wonderful guests, the amazing Mary Giuliani.
She was awesome.
Gave me Cacio Pepe tarot cards, and they're really amazing because, you know, I think a true witch could read your fortune with sticks, you know, but the cards all represent similar things to the original deck, like abundance and turbulence and change and growth. So we've been having a really good time. You had a great reading.
I did.
Brian had the bougiest reading. You were Herbe de Provence, fondue, and what was the other one? Bread. Yeah. So I mean, like, look at that. You're a luxury.
I know, but what does that mean in like regular tarot cards?
Herbe de Provence was your past.
Okay.
So I think that's like an amazing foundation of all the elements and some really magical herbs. Bread was your present, which I think is like very substantial, but also very fragile because bread is not promised. Bread can fail when it's rising.
I wasn't into the whole sourdough thing.
Right. I know you don't like sourdough, but like bread is.
No, I like sourdough. I just think I'd rather just go buy it than having like
a sourdough starter.
Yeah, that sounds stupid.
Well, it sounds like it's a commitment.
It's stupid.
That's, you know, I never. Anyway, leave bread alone because that's not nice.
I'm kidding. It's not stupid.
Bread was your present, so it's just to be handled with care. But promise of a great future or not if you don't handle it with care. And your future, which seems to show that you handled your bread with care, was fondue, which is an ultimate luxury and also a lot of options.
Also very, very popular in like the 90s, late 80s.
I always dreamed about fondue and I've never had it.
You never had it? We should go. I wonder if there used to be a restaurant in my hometown outside of Cleveland it was like a fondue restaurant, and that was like the cool place. Like you started with the hot oil and you cooked your own beef and chicken and pork, and then it went to a cheese. You had a cheese pot. And
Do you put the meat in the cheese?
You put the raw meat on the no.
Is this a hibachi restaurant?
No, it's a fondue. It was called like Chef's Fondue Pot or something like that.
I didn't know you put meat in
It was
fondue.
it was like the fanciest restaurant we'd ever been to back.
I thought it was
This is
like,
Ohio in the late 80s.
I just want to dip things in melted cheese.
Yeah, but you started with cooking your own meat and you dipped it in the oil, and then they had all these sauces that you would dip it in and eat the meat. And then the second course was a cheese fondue where you had bread and like I don't even remember what else you would dip. You would dip the bread in, eat the cheese. And then at the end they would have chocolate fondue, which strawberries, bananas.
That sounds like fun. My fondue dreams are like at a ski place. Like I want to be in the ski.
You want to be in the chalet?
Yeah, and I want to be in a Swiss chalet eating fondue. But
we can make that happen.
I don't really want to do that.
No?
I don't like chalets.
You don't like chalets? How do you know? You've never even been to one.
That's true, but I don't want a cold chalet.
Why are you terrified of things that you don't understand?
I'm not terrified of things. Oh my God. Oh my God. I understand.
I'm reading you
What
right
is there
now.
to understand about a chalet? It's a house in the hill with the snow.
I went to a beautiful chalet. This guy Claude Knobs, who I know it's funny.
I'm sorry, I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing at Claude Knobs.
Rest his soul. He started the Montreux Jazz Festival, which is like this festival in Switzerland, and he has this beautiful chalet on the hill that you are allowed to go to if you're performing in the festival. So we went up there, hanging out with all these famous musicians, and they served us raclette, which is not fondue, but it's like melted Swiss cheese. You would have loved it.
I love Swiss
with like
cheese.
cipollini onions in it and like all this. It was this raclette. It was amazing. But it was a beautiful chalet. They had a bunch of jukeboxes in the basement. We jammed.
Oh, I remember you telling me about this.
I did. We didn't I didn't have a camera phone really. I don't really take any. Didn't really take that many pictures.
Well, the next time I get invited to a chalet, I guess I'll give it a shot.
Yeah. Well, I'm telling him you don't like it.
Well,
so
I'm going to say
invited.
I'm only going if there's fondue.
If there's fondue.
Well, we don't have a fondue pot, but you know what we do have?
What?
The mailbag.
Ah, yes, the mailbag.
Shake it uppeth.
I'm sorry, this glitterati gets me all worked up.
You're crazy. I love you.
All right, here we go. Oh, baby. Julie from New Jersey.
Okay, hey, Julie.
This is probably for you. Do you have a favorite costume?
Oh, I'm sure it's for you too. You could say, do you have a favorite suit? I do have a favorite costume, but it's a loaded question. My favorite costume is my red Garrow Sparrow. I just wore it at Lincoln Center for the holiday shows we did with Murray Hill. It's beautiful. It's just this
brand
classic
new, right?
burlesque cut. No, it's a couple of years old. It's gorgeous. I love her. She's impeccable. The only issue is that I'm kind of limited where I can wear her because the mobility is a little bit rough.
Yeah, because you never move your legs to get on stage.
I can't climb upstairs or navigate any kind of moderately questionable space. So while visually she is my favorite costume to dance in is my purple leopard print that I wear for Jersey Girl that I also wore on stage with Gaga at the Dolby.
That's
because
beautiful.
I can strut, I can kick, I can move. I can stretch, but like I'm really free with my visually. She is gorgeous, but just red is like my favorite.
Did Garrow
color.
do both of those?
No, Elise from Edmonton, Sweet Carousel. She made the purple one for me, and I just the mobility in that one. I just am so untethered when I perform.
I always think it's crazy to see, like obviously I've seen you on stage 1,000 times, probably 1,000,000 times.
Probably.
But like before I knew you and before I knew burlesque dancers, like all the work that goes into those costumes and how they come off so easy and or sometimes not so easy.
Yep.
And but like it's like there's tons of work. And Garrow Sparrow makes beautiful stuff.
Gorgeous.
And so does Elise.
They're both masters of their craft.
Garrow also makes clothes for like all the drag queens.
And a lot of pop stars.
Pop stars and
I know he's amazing. What's your favorite suit?
Oh man, that's hard, man. One of my favorite suits is probably the pink one that I have.
Baby tomato.
It's not even pink.
It's like a coral.
It's like a coral orange-ish pink. I love that suit.
We call it baby. Actually, Garrow calls it baby tomato.
Because
he made me a costume to match that one, and we were like, "What is this mystery color?"
Yeah, and remember Craig Robinson sent you
a swatch,
so you could send it so we could match the costume.
And the swatch looks different in every form of light.
And it's funny that then I got a purple, like a lavender suit, and that matches another one of your costumes. And we've shot pictures in that too. And that's just random. You and I show up sometimes, like I get ready in the basement because that's my like lair, and you're upstairs, that's your lair.
And sometimes we meet on the steps.
We meet on the steps, and we're like, oh, like the other day I was wearing. We both had plaid on for the podcast,
and often we'll both have black turtlenecks and jeans.
And always a chain on the outside.
Well, baby, I think we should get to it.
Let's get to it, man. I love this.
Excited about today's guest.
She's phenomenal, man. She's the art of posing.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Oh no, she's I'm calling her the pose professor.
The pose professor.
So we have Christine Christine Buzan.
Yes.
And she
Nailed
is
it.
the founder of Look Good in Photos. Her years of expertise in posing has garnered her over 3 million followers on Instagram and TikTok. She is crushing it. She is a wealth of knowledge, and I am so excited to talk to her today.
Oh, me too, man. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be such a good time. Let's get into it, baby. Showing
Strike a
off.
pose.
Strike a pose.
Strike a pose. There's nothing to it. Hey, Brian, who do you think the biggest show off is in the family?
Honestly, I think it might be Cacciatore.
Our dog?
Yeah, 100%.
Well, it's true. We do have a custom portrait of her on the wall.
That's right. We got an amazing gift from K-Town Portraits, an amazing custom watercolor portrait of our wonderful dog, and sometimes annoying, Cacciatore.
K-Town portraits are really special.
Oh man, yeah, really, just so realistic and just so beautifully done and with
it's
love.
gorgeous.
Yeah,
it
it's
looks
gorgeous.
just like Kachi. It's really amazing.
Beautiful. And for those of you who don't have pets, K-Town Portraits has some other great options. Go on over to their Etsy page at ktownportraits.etsy.com.
And Showing Off listeners get $10 off their first purchase. Use the code Showing Off at checkout. Again, ktownportraits.etsy.com. And we are so excited to welcome to the show Christine Buzan.
Yeah, baby. Hey, Christine, how are you?
Thank you guys for having
Thank you for
me.
being
You
here.
look amazing. I love
Amazing.
this outfit. I love it.
I have to
love it.
show off for the podcast.
I love that. And you know what? I almost was going to wear, we have the same Selkie dress, which is this gorgeous dress. And I was literally almost going to wear that today, but then I was like, I'm just going to look like a...
You'll just be taking up the entire set.
Look like this big, because they're like these
I have no idea what you
gorgeous,
guys are talking
romantic,
about.
oh my God.
But walking in the snow would be a disaster. I wore it. I went to the Smashing Pumpkins opera in Chicago, so I wore the dress there. And it's like all these like gorgeous like red
it's
velvet
amazing.
stairs. And I didn't remember because it's been a while since I've worn like a gown. You have to, going down is fine. Going up,
Terrorizing.
like the whole thing is just,
Oh
it's
God,
trying
and
to
especially
leave.
because they don't have a lot
It's
up
trying
here.
to leave. So
I
I'm
know.
like, okay, here we go.
I was like, that's going to be way too much to know. Yes, first of all, it would be all wet at the bottom from the snow, and then I would just look like a big piece of fabric.
A beautiful snowflake.
Yes.
in
But
the
one
sky.
day, we got to go out together, and we
And we'll
both
wear our
have to wear
dresses.
our Selkie dresses. So we are so excited to have you here. I love what you do.
Thank you.
And one of the things that we do at Showing Off is the first question we like to ask our guests is, when did you realize that you were a show-off?
I have been a show off my entire life. And it's interesting because, I think especially growing up when I was like a younger girl in kind of a Christian household, it's like, oh, well, what are we doing with her? Because I remember like I saw Madonna's Like a Virgin performance. So I came home from church, and back then it was like 1993, I was born in 89. We wore like these like slips under our dresses because I have like, the boomer mom and everything. So I went home, took off my dress. My parents were in the living room and proceeded to crawl on the floor for everyone. And they were like mortified. So I think that was really kind of what has shaped my identity as a show off.
Yeah, I love that. And also, Like a Virgin was a very defining moment for me. I went in the alley behind our house and I was like reenacting the whole dance. And my mom made me wear slips under everything.
Yeah,
too.
it was perfect. I was dressed for the occasion.
I remember when I got out of my parents' house and I was like, wait, you're not wearing a slip? People don't wear slips under anything?
I know, it's crazy. Like, when did that disappear?
Yeah, or people wear slips as an outfit?
Yes, people do wear slips as an outfit.
You see that a lot. Now it's a full outfit.
Yeah. I do miss a good slip though. Sometimes,
I have one at home because I have a couple outfits. I'm like, this needs a slip underneath it. So you grew up in California.
Yes, I grew up in California.
Orange County.
Yes.
You're our first Orange County, California
Oh, really?
guest that we have. We've got a lot
I
of
love
East
that.
A lot of
Coasters
East
and
Coast cats.
Midwesterners.
Yeah.
But you grew up in Orange County, which had like a super strong music scene, especially when you were growing up. Did that influence your style?
No, for sure. It definitely did. I'm actually on the board still at the Fullerton Museum Center, home of the Leo Fender Gallery. So growing up, my family, very close friends with Phyllis's late widow, who just passed away recently in 2020, Phyllis. So definitely ties to music. My dad would always take me, he was a professor at Cal State Fullerton, to punk shows growing up and things like that.
What kind of bands did you see? What kind of punk bands do you remember?
Like, Dead Kennedys when they would tour. It was so funny. I was so mad. I remember one of like my first like jealousy
and
moments.
in the 90s.
This is like a childhood. I'm reliving my childhood.
Yes,
it was the Tragic Kingdom tour, and No Doubt did a show.
Oh my God.
Cal State Fullerton. My sister was in preschool, so my dad pulled her out and took her. I was in like the first grade and I didn't get to go.
What? Why didn't you go? Both go?
I know, because mom didn't want to pull me out of school. But
well, that's so
but just
mom
responsible.
decision.
It's
growing up,
responsible,
going to shows, things like that. At the museum, we actually organized Mike Ness recently received the key to the city of Fullerton, so we organized Mike Ness Day and everything like that.
Oh, God, that's so cool. I love how involved you are.
Yeah.
But Christine, growing up in, like you, as you said, like a Christian kind of household, that's cool of your dad to still go to see like the Dead Kennedys and punk rock, and no doubt, like that's amazing. It's amazing.
A little bit of
everything.
A little bit of everything. Yeah.
That leads to like a very well-rounded
exactly.
upbringing. Did you go to Disney all the time?
Yes, I still have a pass. Yeah. So even though I live here on the East Coast, I still have my Disney pass. I'm like locked in until May.
Oh my God. Does that work for Disney World and Disneyland?
Just Disneyland.
Just Disneyland. Yeah. I've never been to Disneyland, but
You should go.
It's smaller. I always want to go because like
he's very bad Disney.
I'm terrible in Orlando, but I feel like I can do like the day. Well, you can't just like sit and have a beer somewhere. Like you can't
you could go to Gaston's.
You can't smoke anywhere.
Yeah, you can't smoke anywhere at Disneyland. Yeah.
He doesn't like
you can
heat.
sneak a vape in though. A lot of people.
Yeah. I did do that.
You came twice with me.
I came twice, and it is fun. I love seeing her, but we don't have to go like all the time.
I love it.
I want to go to I want to go to the one in California. I would love to go.
Yeah. Everybody says it's a lot more manageable.
It's I haven't been to the Disney World one. My cousin works. She's actually a ride engineer. So like she develops like an Imagineer or whatever they call it.
Imagineer.
Wow.
Yeah, it's sick. When she joined on, there were only like 3 other like female ride engineers. And so she's like really cool. But she works for the Disney World one. So I always see like what she does and where she goes and stuff like that. But it's like crazy because we just have like 2 parks in California. They have like
I think it's
a billion.
4 or 5.
Yeah,
right?
something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's huge. It's a lot to manage. It's a lot to take in.
Yeah.
I love it. And I think it'll be a really cool thing to grow up around and to grow to when you're a kid, because we went when I was a kid a couple of times and it totally fueled my imagination. Like, I just thought it was such a cool thing. I want to live next to
I definitely I took it for granted for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. Because we always had a pass like my whole life.
Yeah,
you know?
that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Because it's expensive.
It's so expensive now. Like it wasn't as much so growing up.
It wasn't. But I love that. And so what brought you, how did you go from California? Because you're California deep. I hear it in your voice now. You're totally involved in the scene.
I elongate my vowels. I don't say my T's and the T's are D's. And it's funny. I was dictating into Siri talking about like wedding stuff to my sister. And she goes, "Are you mad at me?" And I'm like, "No, I just have to enunciate because or else Siri, like the voice to text won't interpret anything I say." And she's like, "Yes, it's because you don't use T's." And I'm like, "Okay, great, thanks."
I do the same thing when I
California.
talk. This is my Siri voice.
Oh man, yeah. Just listen to her try to get the Alexa to turn on is hilarious.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's a nightmare. But how did you decide to come all the way over here?
So actually, when I was 17, I went to college. I went to University of Washington, and I knew from like a very young age, like when I was 13, I'm like, okay, I want to work at a magazine. That was my goal. That's what I wanted to do. So I started like researching, okay, how am I going to get there to New York
and
to work at a magazine?
What magazines were you reading at the time that were like making you?
It was Vogue and Harper's Bazaar.
Yeah.
So Vogue US, Vogue UK, Harper's Bazaar UK mainly. But I knew that's what I wanted to do. So I'm like, I'm going to research everything. And then I'm like, okay, well, I'll intern. So I got all my college done in like 3 years. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to spend my last year. I'm going to go to New York. So when I was like 20 years old, I'm like, all right, I'm going to go to New York City. And I'm like, I figured it out. Cool. So I started at Marie Claire in the fashion closet, working like 60-hour days.
It's a great
magazine. Back when
old school.
It was unregulated.
Yes.
It was like 2 years later, they had to like start paying for their interns. So, but the thing that was really cool is when you were a good intern, they would like let you go on photo shoots.
Yeah.
So you were able to assist on the photo shoots. So I remember like the first time I went on a photo shoot, like kind of rewinding a bit, I wanted to be a fashion writer. Okay. That was like what I set out to do. And it's really because what interested me back in the day was like the fashion journalists like, like Sally Singer and Andre Leon Talley, who talked about fashion as kind of like a cultural barometer rather than like, okay, this is the style, this is this, this is that, kind of like how fashion interacts with like the ecosystem of culture and everything like that. That's what really drew me to it. But I went on, my first photo shoot. I remember it was like the middle of winter. It was like a January day like this, like, which I'm sure this is airing later, but right now we're in January. There was like snow everywhere. I had to bring like 17 black headbands to the shoot. And I remember just being on the shoot and seeing how the model behind the scenes, was like smoking a cigarette and getting like her hair and makeup done, was just like so quiet and so reserved. And she was like my age, we're both like 20, 21. And then when she stepped in front of the camera, I was like, whoa, like this person transformed into an entirely different being.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it was like when that happened, something really clicked for me. And I'm like, okay, this is interesting. Because at the same time, like 2010, 2011, everybody who wanted to work in fashion, the best way to do it was to have a fashion blog. So like everybody had like a blogger account.
Huge.
It was huge, especially just having a portfolio of writing, because at that point, I'd written like for different like freelance publications. I wasn't doing any writing for Marie Claire. Like back then they only had one person in the digital department. I was like the only other person who knew like how to code. So it would always be like, get the intern, like fix this, that kind of thing.
From the fashion closet.
Like to help with like tech things here and there. Like,
but it's great because you learn so much in a position like that. And especially, I think, working for a magazine, there are so many things that you can learn in that moment. Mm-hmm. I used to work for New Woman magazine.
Oh, no way.
Yes, I was freelance for New Woman.
I love that.
No qualifications. My roommate worked for them. She worked in the fashion department. And they brought me in and I would do random things. And I was pretty much paid like an intern. But the fashion closet was like amazing.
Yeah.
I learned so much. I went on shoots. I like helped pull samples. I repaired the samples that they would destroy when they would alter them to put on the models. But then I learned so much about marketing and everything. It's such a great experience.
It really was. Like I really kind of just saw how everything came together. And I think the most valuable thing that I got from, aside from like learning about posing, which kind of like segues into everything, is just being resourceful.
Yes.
Because somebody has to do something. And if you work in a magazine, even if it's the most established magazine in the world, there still definitely is that kind of startup mentality and that innovation and that needing to do, when you're in any creative job, like if something doesn't exist, you have to create it. Like whether it's a set or it's stitching the costume so it fits,
finding
that kind
a belt,
of thing.
like getting
Did you have to sew them back together so they could return them to the
because they would borrow these really expensive pieces,
shit and then cut them up.
They would mess it up.
Yeah, we'd tape them, we'd clip them, we'd do all kinds of things.
But then you have to return them as they were.
In condition, which is crazy. But so back in the day, everybody had to have a blog, and so I was like writing my little blog pieces, but in addition to writing, I had to like be like, this is my outfit. And I'm wearing like leopard print because of the cultural connotations that happened in the 1960s and this and that, and so I kind of realized on the photo shoot, I'm like, okay, well, this is interesting. She's not just existing, because prior to then I had just been like kind of standing there and like, this is something else. And it's something I want to learn about.
Because now you're taking pictures of yourself and putting them out there.
Yeah. So that was really kind of my, I guess, watershed, if that's the correct word, like moment that made me realize, okay, there's more to posing for photos than just showing up. It's more kind of like a performance.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And how long was that? The Madame Ostrich?
Madame Ostrich.
That was so that was pre-Madame Ostrich.
Oh, okay.
So I had one pre-Madame Ostrich. After Marie Claire, I started the Madame Ostrich. Yeah.
It is crazy. I mean, I don't think like we know of a certain age, you know about those blogs. Like everyone had a blog. Like not everyone, but that was the way we found out about stuff. Fashion, what driving the culture.
Brooklyn Vegan for like I'd read that every single day for like music news. Yeah. Like Evie Grieve still exists, but like I'd read like it's like the
Evie
town
Grieve,
rag.
yes, man. Yeah. That was like, oh, this bar's closed. This bar, Evie Grieve was great.
Evie Grieve is still running.
I forgot how impactful blogs were at that point in time.
Yeah.
It was like the news source.
Even for fashion, I remember doing Style Like You. And
oh my gosh.
Like that, just fun stuff.
So you're doing this, you're taking pictures of yourself, you're putting them out there, and then you're starting to realize more about the power of posing.
Yeah. So it was then we'd like orchestrate these like little shoots and I'd become more experimental. And after Marie Claire, I went on to work for different like fashion companies. And my main job within those was helping with the casting of the models and then assisting on set.
Okay.
So I'd be on set for like commercial modeling with like my next job, like 3 to 4 days a week, like all day just on set. And so a lot of the times with commercial brands, especially back then, because this was like the mall era, really, like, e-commerce existed, but it wasn't like now where we just like Amazon everything.
Doing this for, like big print posters and
print posters and websites and things like that. And like catalogs. Yeah, like when they existed
back in the day,
the same brands would work with like the same models over and over, and we're all the same age. We're like the youngest people on the set. Everyone else was like 27. I mean, which is which is just like disgracefully old, and I have nothing in common with them.
Yes.
And so I'd ask the models like, how do you do this, how do you do that, and I'd ask like the makeup artist, okay, what's this, what's that. So it's like it was cool because I learned, like in 2011 about like contouring, and nobody was like talking about that until like, 2015.
Did you write about it in your blog?
Yeah. So I was like learning all these things, and I'd apply them to my blog. And my blog started to get like more and more successful. It was about like music. It was about fashion and kind of like the intersection of like culture and female empowerment. And I was doing cool things. Like I was getting invited to like Chanel's press preview and like all this different stuff.
Wow.
And everything was going great until I gained 70 pounds because I changed my OCD medication. So
really?
Yes. So it was all going great and fine. And I felt like really good about blogging. And then like my medication just started not working. Like I've had OCD like most of my life. And it's completely manageable through medication. For some people, like medication just fixes it. For other people, it doesn't,
Right.
So for some, I was like on one medication. It really wasn't working. My symptoms were getting worse. So my doctor's like, okay, try this. And it was like great because it like fixed everything. I'm still on the medication to that day. But in a matter of like 2 years, I gained 70 pounds, which is crazy. And back then, like the fashion industry was not nice.
No.
Like not nice at all.
Not at all.
Yeah. So I went from being like a 6 to a 14, like really quickly. And I didn't like know how to exist in my body. I didn't know how to dress myself. I could barely like look at my body in the mirror and put on an outfit and think it looked cute, let alone like want to like document and blog my outfit and everything. So it was really then that was kind of like a turning point for me. And I was fortunate that I was able to find on the internet, because Instagram started to become a thing then. This is like 2014.
Okay.
I found a community of like plus size bloggers, and I was like, okay, where do you shop? Where do you do this? Where do you do that? But the thing that was really a problem for me still was I didn't know how to pose for photos. Because before, when I first started, I was just standing there, and then I learned like a thing or two from models, and it kind of became like my shtick, and it would work like whenever I was in front of the camera. Like the thing that was really big then was like, look away, they're all like standing like a line and looking away, like that was like the,
you had a couple like hits.
Yeah, that was what every single like lookbook blogger was doing back then. But it really did not work for my new body. So I was like, okay, well, I can either give up on this, which is like what I do for fun. It's like my community of like friends, and I was getting like good press coverage
Absolutely.
back then. Like
you were going to Chanel parties.
Yeah, or I can just like I can give up, or I can find like a new way to do it, So it was at that point that I was like thinking about everything that I'd learned like within the industry. And I'm like, okay, well, if I learned how to pose for photos once, I can learn how to pose for photos again and like figure it out. And I'm one of those people, I really like, I'm a professor's daughter. So I really like to learn and kind of get into like the nitty gritty of things. So it kind of became like a special interest of mine. But back then there was no like YouTube video that was like, here, you're a regular person, here's how to pose. Right. There was no like just like resources for everyday people, because it was still like Instagram hadn't really blown up in the way that it would later, like in like 2016.
No, it wasn't a tool.
It was just like aspiring influencers and bloggers and celebrities were the people, and public figures were the people who needed to be photographed consistently. Like for everyone else, photos were still like, we had like our Facebook like albums, but only your friends see that. It wasn't a tool for like communicating or getting ahead in life, really. Like it would become later.
How quickly that changed.
Yeah, that changed really quickly.
So quick.
Yeah. So, I was like, okay, I'm just going to learn this. It's a special interest, and I'm going to do it for my blog.
I was going to say, so you just decided to start doing this on your own for your blog, so you can continue to do what you love and what you're having great success at.
Yeah.
So how did you start figuring it out?
So in terms of the methodology, or in terms of like the career aspect?
Well, the methodology of it, like, because I'm sure that had to come first, right? To get really comfortable with that, because posing is hard.
Yeah.
And you talk about like the look away. I have like 4 poses that I do. I'm like bevel, hand on hip, bevel, hands in the air, bevel, hands out, it's all like this, and it's hard to get out of it.
Classes, showgirl bevel.
Yeah. Yes. 100%. And it's like, I have to consciously try to get away from those. It's hard to do. You have it in your head. So like, were you in front of your mirror, like trying different things, taking pictures and looking at them? Just because it's like one of those things where like, how many ways you can pose?
Yeah.
And you know that the answer is thousands.
Infinite. Yeah.
Infinite. You just have to open the door to the possibility.
Yeah.
So how did you do it?
So really at the time I looked for trainings for photographers. and trainings for models, because that's all that really existed. So like, you know, the Peter Hurleys of the world that like teach other photographers like how to effectively pose people. He was really like kind of a pioneer in that education space, and he's so amazing. Like he is the headshot like guru master.
That's
of the
amazing.
World. He's fantastic. So just finding like different courses, and back then like online courses weren't as big as they are now, but I would look for those different online courses. I would buy different books. I was just researching everything that I could basically from both online and in real life with like the photographers and the models that I did know, to just kind of like piece it together, learn, observe. And then in terms of actually trying it out, it was a lot of working in the mirror, so like mirror work, as well as just being in front of the camera every single day anyway, because like every day I'd have like an Instagram post with a new outfit on, you know, like, so it was both a mix of kind of like the theory aspect of it as well as just like implementing it. And then it became time when other people were like, hey, I'm starting a social media for my nail salon or for my real estate, you know, like around like 2016 when like that boom happened where everybody needed to have like an Instagram account and needed to have like their face, you know, as part of it, that people started like asking me for help, like friends and family. And then it kind of grew and grew and grew. And I was kind of like, okay, well, I want to do for posing for photos what the YouTube beauty like vloggers in like 2008 did for makeup. Yeah. Because before those like YouTube beauty people, it was really only like professional makeup artists that knew things like highlighting, contouring,
100%.
you know, like how to underpaint, like different things like that were all tips of the trade, but weren't really marketed to regular women. So I really set out, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to basically give other people the tools to be able to pose for photos, because for me personally, once I kind of figured out my posing thing, stepped back out into the spotlight in my bigger body, you know, I was on the cover of Red Book magazine for their 2015, like their Real Woman Style issue.
Oh my God, that's
I got
amazing.
booked for like lingerie ad campaigns with Adore Me, you
and
know,
this
that
is
were like
all from them seeing you on Instagram.
Yeah, just from like
and from your blog. Were you still blogging?
Yeah, I was blogging.
You're
just
blogging.
being visible, you know, in my own body and being able to like present to myself a different version than the version that's sitting on the couch right now with you guys, but being able to just kind of tap into expressing myself as the person I wanted to be through posing. And I realized how powerful of a tool it was, and that like society was going in this direction where you needed to be visible in front of the camera. So I'm like, I just want other people to have this tool as well.
That's so smart that you were able to stand back and see that and then know like sharing is the move, and the response caught on. Because it's like, I remember when I first started following you and I was like, oh my God, I love this. Yeah. Because we've been posing forever, and I never thought about it in like this way that you could kind of break it down and come up with all these different ways to do that. And I was totally amazed by how you approached it and how you were sharing it.
Yeah, that was the real thing, is once I realized I wanted to do it, it was like, okay, time to go back to the drawing board and, you know, establish my own methodologies around it in a way that makes it applicable and usable to everyday people. Because I think that the way that it was being taught prior was for models, which is like you editorial modeling and commercial modeling, like catalog style modeling or whatever, e-commerce now is they're two very different like philosophies of modeling. And so the thing is, most people aren't doing photos in an editorial style, and also they don't necessarily need to do like, you know, the catalog like shift and things like that.
I do love that. I love a good catalog picture.
Stand by for this important announcement.
Have someone you'd like to see as a guest on Showing Off, or have some burning questions you want to ask us? Shoot us a line at showingoffpod@gmail.com.
It was just about kind of figuring out how to make it applicable to real world for kind of everyday people.
No, and what I think is really important too, that we don't think about so much unless you stop and think about it, is how important pictures are now, because so much of our presence, so much of people's like first exposure to you, or it's all on social media. Yeah. So there's so much importance to pictures nowadays. And there's so many people who don't feel comfortable in front of the camera. Yeah. So I think that's an amazing tool to be able to provide for them. And did you see, like, I know you do because you've talked about it at times, but just like the importance of being able to put out a good picture.
Yeah. I mean, it's in the same vein as learning at this point, learning how to read or write. It's a different form of communication, if that makes sense, like in my opinion. So it's in the same way that, you know, you'd write someone an email or you would talk to someone on the phone. you're essentially kind of almost giving an impression of yourself in the same way through your photos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. We've seen that grow over the years. Like, so I'll run into old friends and we'll run into each other and like he'll be like, "Oh yeah, how's everything going?" And like, "Oh yeah, man. I saw you on Instagram. I saw all the things that you did.
Yeah,
you were in Tulum. You played here. You did this. You went there. Like
well,
it's
and
like
even
you
now,
follow.
it's like
It's like communication.
If you're gonna hire somebody, like, the first thing I do if I'm gonna hire somebody for something is I go and I look at their social media.
Oh yeah,
and you form an opinion whether you want to or not based on what you see there.
Well, also it's like the trust factor. Like, I'm right now looking at, I need to get a haircut, and I haven't gotten a haircut since I moved back to the East Coast.
It's so hard to find somebody that you like. I know.
But it's like, I want to not only look at their work that they showcase, but I want to be like, okay, are you like a real person? You know what I mean? Like, are we going to have rapport of some kind? Like, what's your vibe overall? And I think that really... photos can be a tremendous tool to convey that. And I think a lot of the times, when we thought about posing in the past, it's kind of either stand there or just like, cookie cutter this. But
glamour shots.
Yeah, glamour shot. I have a whole tangent on that. We need to bring them back.
I know they definitely need to bring them back.
We need a glamour shot revival.
More fuzzy pictures of someone overlooking the family. You know what I mean? Like
everything is
that.
Glamour shot.
That's the thing. Photos have become like utilitarian at this point.
Been
so
going,
it's like I want a vibe.
Yes, we were at JCPenney.
We belong to the photo club at JCPenney.
Yeah, I love it.
No way, I love that.
It's a great deal.
It's so cheap, and you can just go there. And we just shot our Christmas card last year.
We did. It's a good one. It's a good one.
I love that.
It's amazing.
But kind of like circling back, I think a lot of people, they don't really understand that it's like you can pose one way and convey one thing about your personality, and you can pose one way to convey something else. So I think a lot of the times people think about like, oh, like looking good in photos or posing for photos. And that's part of it, is like posing in a way that allows you to feel confident, so you can put your best foot forward and put your best self forward. But it's also expressing who you are to the world, in the same way as when we sat down and talked, you're like, yeah, California accent, like that kind of thing. It can say a lot about who you are and what you stand for.
Well, and I think so many people inhibit themselves from having that moment, because I know I have so many friends. My mom's like this. She'll be like, stand in front of me. Stand in front of me. I don't want to just get my head, or like friends who are just like, block my body. Like, I don't like, you stand here, I'm going to get in the back, because they don't feel confident in that moment to be able to express themselves. So it's, oh no, like my mother, she's barely in any pictures because she's like, I just don't want to be in them. So it's like, how do you inspire people to get that confidence to like, just give it a go and open that door?
Yeah, I think a lot of the times it's really, people think about confidence as this big, like, ideological state of being. Like, you could be like, okay, I'm a brunette and I'm confident. And it's like, no, we all have confidence in different things. Like, for example, I am very confident sitting on this couch talking to you guys. I am confident posing for photos. I am confident riding the subway, but I'm not confident skiing. I'm hypermobile. My knees don't go in, and I can't stop once I start, and I'm going to fall over. So, that's the thing.
With you.
But that doesn't make me any less confident of a person, and it doesn't affect my self-esteem, which is like, my general sense of being. And so the thing that I really tried teaching my students is to think of confidence as a silo, like little circles that kind of overlap and like make up who you are. And learning how to pose for photos, if you're not confident posing for photos, that doesn't mean that you're not a confident person. It just means it's a skill that you can learn and become confident at. Like, if I really wanted to learn how to ski, I could probably learn how to do it, but I don't want to. No. And that doesn't mean I'm a bad person or any less confident of a person. And so that's the first thing that I really kind of established with my students is it's like, okay, this is a skill. This is a skill you can learn. And then the next thing from there is that confidence is built through action. So it's just quick little things, like the things I teach on Instagram. Like, okay, placing your weight on your back leg is going to make a big difference versus just standing straight up and down, especially if you're in that group photo, like your mom, where you're standing in front of people because you're shorter. It's like if you're standing like this.
You're like a bunch of football players.
Yeah, versus standing like this, you're going to get a much more like flattering, which I know isn't like the best word, but a more flattering word, like line for your body.
You're giving yourself dimension. You're showing off the dimension that you have.
Yeah.
You know?
And so it's definitely a matter of just understanding that this is an opportunity to learn and it's something that is a skill, and then doing those little quick wins before really like diving into the nitty-gritty of it, because the more quick wins someone can build up, the bigger their confidence will grow into, I think.
No.
I gotta say too, like we shoot a lot of pig. Obviously, we shoot a lot, but I'm never like super comfortable.
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
and I don't really, you know what I mean? Like, I don't, right, Angela? Like,
Well, you're always like, I feel so tall. I don't, there's a lot of limbs. It's a lot of limbs.
Yes.
I do. I feel like I'm not, and I don't always know what to do. You know?
And then
but
it's also, you're a giant and I'm
You're-
small,
yes, that
so
makes
we're
it- makes
always.
it-
So yeah, you have to stagger your height.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
I saw you post something about that, like how to balance the height.
yeah. It's really about, so it would be like Brian would be standing behind you.
Yeah.
You'd have some space with your legs probably apart with your feet pointed outward, maybe to give just lower.
Yes.
Lower the height
depth,
a little bit, and then
yeah.
you'd stand like in front of his shoulder like that
I
instead
know
of directly.
exactly what you're saying.
Instead of directly in his armpit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. Because it's ridiculous sometimes. And it's like, okay.
Yeah, but it is. But I just try. You want to look cool or you want to look natural, but it's just
Yeah.
like you. I don't know. My confidence is not there either. Sometimes, you know what I mean.
It's
You just gotta
hard.
fucking show
It's
up.
hard. And there's different. I remember we did a shoot with Gaga. Was it Stephen Meisel for the Bennett Gaga?
I believe so.
I think it was Stephen Meisel. We were at the box.
No, it wasn't Steve Meisel.
I think it was.
No, Stephen Klein.
Stephen Klein.
No.
It was a famous.
I'm
Stephen.
trying to remember who it was because I know
It
what
was
photo
Stephen
you're
Klein.
talking about. Yeah.
Was it Stephen
It was Stephen
Klein?
Klein.
So we're there, and I was like up high on a thing, and I'm doing what I always do.
Yeah, I love it. But it works so well for your
Smile.
brand, though. That's the thing, you
Well,
know?
But then Gaga was like, Angie, can you just like give me some Vogue? And I was like, yeah. What's Vogue?
Loosen the limbs.
Yeah, and she was
You're
just like,
loosen, yeah.
come in,
Yep.
give me. And I was like, what is this new sensation? like
Shoulders.
concaving.
Well, she is excellent at posing.
yeah, she's fantastic.
She's fantastic.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
But I was like, but some of it felt so wacky to me. Like I did one where I was like crouched down. I was like here.
Well,
and
don't they say like if it's not uncomfortable, it doesn't look good on camera?
For the most
For the
part,
most
yeah.
part,
Especially
right?
with an editorial posing like that,
Yeah.
where it's really about. One thing that I talk about all the time with my students and like with my clients is most people, and you know this through dance, like hold their posture up with
Yes.
their shoulders.
100%.
But it's like it's the same as you knit through your core.
Yes.
And now
Yeah.
I'm sitting, with nice posture in the chair. But it's like knitting through the core and then allowing the shoulders to kind of direct.
Yes.
And move. Yeah.
I
it's
see,
fun when
see.
you can get that comfortable with something and then you can like have fun with it. 'Cause
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God,
I'm going to
just
sign up for the class. I
unlocked
think.
a whole. You can.
Yeah.
It unlocks like a whole new world.
Yeah.
How do you keep finding new poses? Because your content, you are turning it out. You've got new pose, and I'm like, oh, I never thought about that.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Oh, it's so good. Like,
So I think the thing is I broke it down. So I have the way that I teach is there's 4 different pillars. So there is first there's perception, which is like understanding your own self-perception and how you see yourself. That's like that confidence aspect, like kind of breaking that down. Then it's perspective, which is really understanding how the camera sees you.
Yes.
So like different things, like if I was to take a photo of you from up here, we'd have your head real big, your shoulders really small, you look
Yep.
more short and stout, versus if I took it from chest height, we get something much more like neutral and true to form. So just understanding perspective, because like the Gagas of the world and the, the big celebrities who have to be photographed all the time, they know, okay, this camera is going to see me differently than this camera
Yeah,
is.
that's crazy.
And just being aware at all times of how that presents. So
Yeah.
that kind of, perception. The next thing is positioning. And I think that's the thing a lot of people miss when it comes to posing for photos is the shifting the weight. I think a lot of the times people will step in front of the camera and they'll be like, okay, I'm stuck here. And then have you ever taken like a group photo and you're all in a line with the family and you have like your mom with the camera right here and then your uncle's like, oh, I'm going to take one over here.
Yes,
Yeah,
And
yeah.
instead of everyone just turning,
Yeah.
the whole group just goes,
everybody.
and it's like
somewhere else.
arms and
Yeah.
stomachs, and so it's understanding that positioning and kind of getting more
Yeah.
comfortable with the free will. And then finally after that is the posing. So I think the thing is really understanding like, the mindset aspect, understanding the camera aspect, and then understanding the positioning. And then posing is just like expression.
Yeah.
It's, just finding different ways to kind of interact with different things that you're on to create, new shapes.
Yeah.
But you have to know how to position yourself first before you can learn how to pose.
No, absolutely.
Yeah. Wow.
And you have to not be scared to try new things.
Yeah,
I think.
exactly.
To be like, I'm going to use this mug. Oh, the pillow. Like these different elements around you.
And it's a numbers game too. That's the thing. You look at, there's a reason why photographers take thousands of photos for a shoot, and only use like 5 on a spread, but there's still thousands of photos. It's like, these are the best photographers and the best models in the world. And they're not just doing one and done. So like, why do you think you're going to have like one photo,
Totally.
That is such a good point that I've never thought about.
Yeah.
But that's absolutely true.
Oh, we've talked about that with music too. Like I remember, being on like, extremely amazing like recording sessions and then having like the engineer that I admire and respect so much say, yeah, listen, he didn't, this famous guy didn't get it in one take.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like but you don't think that when you see it. You see it online, you hear the record, you're like, man, that guy must have done that in one take. That's crazy. It sounds so great. Or
no, we
that,
tried to
that
hold
picture is
ourselves to
amazing. But
something.
you're right, they took 15,000 pictures to get 5 shots.
100%.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we know that that's the truth.
We know that that's definitely the truth.
So I love that one. I'm going to remember that.
That's a great one.
You did another
Christine.
one that I love that I saw this on your feed too. You were talking about like the phone cameras that we use now. Like you take a picture of your face and you look at it. I do sometimes. And I'm like, oh my God. Every pore, every line, every little like crinkle
Babe, you don't
and
have any of
wrinkle.
that.
I know you don't. You're good. I know.
No, but you see it, or
guys
sometimes
don't
I'll
have
pick up
that.
the camera and it's turned around.
It will create things. Yeah.
It's and you were like, this is not your face. And I was like, oh my God, she's totally right. Because when I look at all my friends who probably have the same experience, I know that that's not what I see when I look at their face. But that can be very depressing.
It really can. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're not used to like psychologically seeing as many faces in a day as we do.
Yeah, it's
on like other faces, as well as seeing our own face. Like our brains just aren't wired for that. So it's definitely interesting. And I think that one of the most powerful things within like mastering, like we talked about, that perception is understanding that you aren't your images. And one example that I use a lot is taking photos of the moon. Like if you were to go out and take a picture of a full moon with your iPhone, they've got it better, but it's going to be blurry.
It always looks terrible.
Versus if NASA takes a photo of the moon, it's going to be crystal clear. And think about it, like the moon can't pose or like change its position, but you can. So think of how many variables are going to go in with like a living, breathing, moving object, And the thing is, like if I was to show you 2 different pictures of the moon and be like, which one's the real moon? It's like, neither is, because the moon is in the sky. And it's like the same for you. You aren't your photos. Your photos are just like a snapshot of a reflection of you, basically.
Wow. You are a professor's daughter.
Yeah. That's
I spent a lot of time thinking about posing. I have.
I bet like you've broken it down. Like you are the pose professor.
Like with the thesis, the main mission statement, everything.
It's been a tremendous amount of work. That's why nobody saw me for a long time. No. I was in the lab. You
were working it out. At what point did you realize, because you were doing it, you're writing your blog, you're posing, you're getting these great gigs from it and this visibility. I mean, did you quickly realize that like this is your career now? Like there was, you got a bajillion followers.
No, just to go back to that too. Like you people don't always realize how much, like you said, you were in the lab, how much work it actually takes to get that kind of following, to get the kind of engagement. Yeah. Like it just doesn't happen overnight like everybody thinks.
No.
Yeah.
But like,
and honestly, in that sense, like COVID was a gift for me because it was like, when I built my following, it was really then because everybody was at home and, we were all trying out new hobbies. Like
and we were communicating through pictures.
You're like, burlesque class the other day with my dad, like, like
with dad too, that's amazing.
On IG Live, he loved it because he's like mobility issues, so he'd be like in the basement, just like in the chair, just like singing and stuff. It was really fun.
Oh, that's great,
There's nothing
Christine.
going on, and plus, like my dad, like high risk with health problems, like we couldn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
So because I'd moved back from New York in 2019 when both my parents were sick. They're both doing better now, but like to help take care of them. Then the pandemic hit, and then it was like,
home.
And you were there. Hey, but thank God you were there to help and hanging out
with them, teaching people how to pose, and nobody. I had an audience that was captive as well.
Yeah,
where that was really the only form of communication was being on camera with each other. Yeah,
exactly. So it, that's kind of how that happened, and then. I had started working really on the methodologies and everything starting like in 2016.
God, I love that.
Yeah. Then the first course went live in 2020. then I realized that for what I'm doing, courses alone aren't really the best. I need to have like, same as like dance, you know, because I mean, I come from a ballet background. I need to have like assignments and drills. And it's like, you know, you're at your bar doing your tendus and your pliés, you know, like, and so that kind of thing, because posing is muscle memory.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, you need to be able to get into your base pose muscle memory wise and then be able to add on top of that.
So that's about when you started Look Good in Photos and went like totally official and you're creating courses. Do you do like in-person classes as well?
Yeah, I do in-person classes. I do a lot of different corporate events too, which are like really fun. Like whether that's teaching, I just taught a group of travel agents for a conference, like how to pose in Bermuda. I also do like a lot of different branded events for like Fashion Week every year, where it's like, you know, we'll do like headshots or that kind of thing. And then in-person classes like for bachelorettes and stuff like that. Yeah.
Christine, who are some of your favorite posers? I don't mean to say it like that.
I like that.
I mean, in terms of like celebrity pop culture, I think number one would be Zendaya in terms of like non-model posers. I mean, she has a ballet background as well, but she just creates like that beautiful, those just gorgeous lines, holds tension in the right place. I think a lot of people don't realize that like different outfits, you know, posing is a personality thing, but like different outfits require different poses. And I think she really has that locked in depending on what she's wearing, whether she gives us a really dramatic pose or kind of tones it down a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, do you think, I mean, I feel the same way if when I put a suit on or if, I feel like I'm more confident when I'm taking a picture, you're stand up tall. I don't know, you know, but that's that. I got to look some more some of her poses. That's amazing.
And that's why I talk about like your pose, you know, it works for you because you are a burlesque dancer, so you can bevel, but it's like if I'm at, you know, my niece's, my best friend is a daughter, but if I'm at her birthday party at Chuck E. Cheese and I'm wearing like, you know, cut off jean shorts and I'm like this in front of the aunt, you know, like it just, it doesn't match.
You know how many pictures? You know? I have a picture of me and my mom on the beach. I'm wearing a sweatsuit and I'm literally in showgirl bevel. I'm looking over my shoulder with my mom who's like, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm such a doofus. Why? Like, but it's muscle memory. If you point a camera at me, this leg goes bam, and I close the distance. And
her mother doesn't like being in pictures, but she does so much. She's the matriarch, right?
Yeah. I mean, the matriarch of the Pontani sisters.
Every summer at the beach, she gets a photographer to come down to get us all in white.
I love that.
Just to take a picture and like, you know, there's a lot of
it's hilarious.
Which beach do you guys go to?
Brigantine, and it's
she
right
doesn't
off
ask
Atlantic
for much.
City.
She doesn't ask for much.
Yeah,
we're like a cult.
I'll have to come. I'll come and organize it for you guys. Yes.
Oh my God,
you
Christine,
should come.
Because I'm in Jersey. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's why you have to come. Oh my God.
I'll come down. Yeah.
It's hilarious because we like look like a cult. Like we're walking down to the beach in white. There's like 16 of us. All the guys are like harumph, you know.
I don't mind it. Your mother doesn't ask for a lot, man. She does a lot.
Trying to keep the kids out of the water.
The least we could do is pose for a picture on the beach with her.
We could use you.
Okay, I'll come. It'll be fun.
Really?
I know. I need to go down to the shore too this summer.
Yeah, bring the man down. We'll
Where do you
hang
go?
out.
Where do you go to do shore in Jersey?
No, I mean I just moved back. Yeah, I'm like, well, I go to Newport Beach for the beach, and then go to Huntington Beach to day drink. So I don't know.
Now you move back to New York, and there's 10 feet of snow on the ground.
I know. Well, the Jersey Shore is so much fun.
Oh man,
I've never been. I want to go.
We just went down a couple weeks ago just to go and hang out for the day in the winter. You know what I mean?
And Brigantine is amazing because it's like a quiet, sleepy beach town.
Stop telling everybody where we go for summer.
It's too late.
You'd have to bleep it out.
I know.
No, I don't care if people know. I just don't want people to know about it so they go and overload the island.
It's full. Brigantine is at capacity. You can come, Christine.
I'll come.
But yeah, no, I get what you're saying though, because there are many pictures of me where I'm like in my gym clothes, and I just like it is that I'm like bam, and then I'm like relax. Try to relax.
Casual pose.
Yeah, but
that's another fun. Every time someone like if we're at a party or something like that, she can like smell the camera.
Oh yeah,
even if they're trying to take like candid pictures, she's just like candid.
Yeah. I mean, I'm the same way too, because it's like if I know a camera's here,
you can see it.
Shifting my weight, I'm moving my chin,
and
then I'm continuing my conversation, but I'm like, like I'll be at a party, and my friend's like, "Are you?" I'm like,
yeah. There's a camera behind you,
and you should too if you're smart.
You're whispering what for her to do, what poses for her to do.
The one friend is like eating a crudité.
Stop eating. He's taking pictures.
Tell us about Photogenic Boot Camp.
Cool. So Photogenic Boot Camp is my flagship program. It is the one that kind of encompasses all of those like 4 Ps that we discussed.
Yeah.
So everything from your own confidence and perception to knowing how to set up the camera, how to direct other people to set up the camera, which I think is the really big thing.
Yes.
Because everybody's kind of just all over the place.
You could be the best poser in the world, but if somebody's shooting you from that angle,
I can't. I'm from the '80s. The poser.
I know that's my community. The posers.
I love it. It's been reclaimed in a whole new way.
Yeah,
I love
totally.
it.
Exactly. I love it. I love it.
And just discussing positioning and posing, but it's also in addition to learning everything through a course. You have those assignments, and then we meet once a month and I give you feedback on either your assignments or your photos, or it could be something like, oh, I'm like planning, to go to a wedding. This is the dress I'm wearing, and then coming up with custom poses.
That's super smart and super helpful. I'm sure you change. I mean, that's like changing lives. You know what I mean? Like you're helping people feel confident about themselves. Yep. And it's great, man.
No, you're opening the door.
Really
and that's really like
that's amazing.
Why I do what I do. Because, I'm fortunate that I've assisted on sets and worked with like celebrities and a lot of red carpet and things like that. But I love being able to just help people like me, just feel more confident, have more opportunities.
A whole new world.
Yeah.
And then I think too, it's like sentimental, but like you think about it like big picture, like getting those moms who aren't comfortable, getting the sister that doesn't want to be in the picture. Like, no, get in the picture. And then once they have the skills that you can give them, they're in the pictures.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
and they see themselves differently.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've seen myself so differently than the person that I was when I first, gained weight. And how I thought about myself, and photos have really opened up my life. And I just we all have different goals for why we want to be in photos, but I want whatever a student's goal is that they achieve that and they feel good.
Oh, I love that.
Awesome,
you do amazing work. I love it so much.
Amazing.
If you had one piece of advice for somebody who's maybe like thinking about taking the course or is like a little hesitant, like what would you say to them?
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said earlier, posing for photos is a skill, and it's a skill you can learn. You just have to know basically what to do. You have to practice doing it, and then you have to get the feedback so you're able to do it. It's like I always say, if we were to watch an NBA game together, which is like 2.5 hours, and I hand you a basketball and you've never played basketball before, like you're not going to be able to dunk.
Yeah.
So, it's a physical thing, and posing for photos is exactly the same as learning how to write or learning how to play basketball or how to knit or things like that. So,
I love it.
Skill that can be learned. I love it.
No, absolutely. It makes it so much less scary.
Yeah, it does.
You
Definitely.
know, like naming something and laying out a pathway to conquer it like really makes it accessible.
And it doesn't have to be scary. You can always delete your photos and no one will see it.
Yeah,
we have such a blessing. You don't need to go to CVS with like your Kodak rolls.
Unlike my like 4th grade for 5th grade pictures of me in glasses and braces that I don't want to see.
Those are
that
so
just live on my mother's wall.
Oh, the amount of pictures I delete in a day.
Yeah.
Oh, there's some days I'm like, oh, this is it. And I take a bunch of pictures and then I look at them and I'm like, not it. Tomorrow is another day.
I think about Sis. Sis takes, I mean, your phone, I don't even know how. She takes like just...
Oh, there's like thousands
and thousands of pictures, but just all of everything.
I know Sis is older, but the funniest is like my friends' kids who are like toddler or preschool like age, and they know how to take the selfie.
Oh,
and
man,
so it's just
that's
like,
amazing.
Like chin and like dribble.
But Sis gets it. Her angles are great. I'm like, wait, you're 10
They're
years
learning,
old.
man.
How did you do that? Show me.
Show
do
me.
I put it? What am I doing here?
Yeah, it's that immediate feedback from the phone, which we didn't have growing up.
No.
So that's really kind of where that knowledge gap comes.
I'm glad I have her to fill it, and I'm glad that everybody has you to help them get their pose on. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
So, Christine, we like to play games here on Showing Off, and we tailor them specifically to our guests, and I'm very excited about yours. But before I tell you what it is, we're going to take a quick minute.
From our sponsors.
Are you a burlesque performer looking to sharpen your skills? Sign up today for Building Burlesque, a limited online class series with me, Angie Pontani. Learn from my years of experience as we review a current performance piece from your repertoire and fine-tune it with expertise. I will help you level up your performance and give you the tools you need to enhance everything from choreography, costuming, lighting, and music. Let's get into it with Building Burlesque. Packages are available on AngiePontani.com. That's AngiePontani.com. Hey, babe, you know what time it is?
Do I know what time it is? Yeah, baby.
It's game time. Okay, Christine, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, your game is East versus West.
Oh my, okay.
I know, but listen, you are truly a bi-coastal gal, and so we think you're perfect for this game. So I am going to list a number of things that have been inspired directly from your Instagram page, and you have to tell us real quick if that is giving you East or West Coast energy. So there's really no wrong answer. It's all your decision. But so you know, if it's the West Coast,
it's fine.
So be it.
It's fine.
Remember, you live here now. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. Okay. Does anybody? Let's place a bet. There's 20 words I'm gonna say.
All right, I'm looking at these. I don't know. It's a toss up.
Guess.
West Coast.
Okay.
Are we doing a tally at the end?
Yeah, we're gonna do a tally at the end.
Okay.
Because then we're gonna. All right. So Brian is West. I'm gonna say East because I'm not capable of saying anything else.
Well, that's good. We'll both on either side.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
No pressure.
All right.
Denim.
Oh, West Coast.
I thought I was supposed to read it.
Go.
Iced lattes.
West Coast.
Swimming pools.
West Coast.
Damn it.
Deftones.
East Coast. No, West Coast because they're from. But I've seen more Deftone shows on the East Coast because I live here longer.
So what are you gonna go with?
I'm gonna go for West Coast because they're from the West
They're from
Coast.
the way.
Yeah,
I had that
like,
T-shirt on yesterday. Wore their T-shirt.
Yeah.
I can't believe you wrote that down. That's amazing. Feather boas.
East Coast.
Champagne.
East Coast.
Yeah.
Prosecco's like West Coast. Yeah.
I like it. All right. Sunflowers.
West Coast.
Gazebos.
West Coast.
Pizza.
Chicago. But East Coast. East Coast for sure. Yeah.
Okay, it's getting very
Chicago
hot
counts
in
as
here.
East Coast,
Yeah.
I think. All right. Cowboy boots.
West Coast.
All right. Lady Gaga.
East Coast.
East Coast. Antique shops.
Oh, East Coast.
East Coast,
Yeah.
for sure. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
If I'm gonna go, I'm thinking of my own perspective. Yeah.
Red lipstick.
East Coast.
Sequins.
East Coast.
Theme parks.
West Coast.
I'm sure you wrote midi dresses. Mini dresses.
Midi.
Oh, they're
it's a
middies?
cut.
Midi is
Cut.
West
midi,
Coast.
okay,
Yeah.
Midi dresses.
Midi.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't
I
know
thought
what
that was like
is?
a midi. Midi's like a music thing.
It's like the length of her skirt, which is kind of more like
Yes.
a T length, but yeah, it's
I love the. I learn something every day. It's great. Bar stools.
East Coast.
East Coast. Tea light candles.
Oh God, my engagement. Yeah, so that was. I don't know if you saw. I kicked over one of the candles during my engagement. So East Coast.
I love that this is all about stuff from your blog. Brick.
East Coast.
East Coast. Gold.
East Coast.
I think East Coast won.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11.
Is there more? Is it only 20?
11 East Coast. So I mean, you could do the math on that. 1, 2.
That'd be 11 and 9.
Okay, so yeah, thank you.
So East Coast won.
East Coast won.
East Coast
East
won.
Coast
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm so glad. I was starting to get very nervous.
Look at you sweating.
I was.
Why are you sweating?
Because I can't be associated with something where the East Coast doesn't win.
Oh, come on.
Everybody's gonna get so
on.
mad at me. All right, it's good we got out of it. We did it. We did
did
it.
it. You did
Yay.
Christine, when's your wedding?
Okay, so I want to have 2. I've decided.
One on the East Coast and one on the West
Yeah.
Coast?
No, we're gonna have 2 on the West.
2 on the West
But
Coast.
yeah.
All right, the
We're
West
gonna-
Coast wins your wedding.
We're gonna do like the actual ceremony in the spring, and then we're gonna have the party November 20th.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love
That sounds
November
amazing.
weddings. I love November
When did you guys get
weddings.
married?
We got married
February.
in February.
Oh, nice.
It was
That was the hard.
freezing.
We're working. You know what I mean? Like the
Yeah.
holidays are so tough. The summer. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
that's
we
the
just, like,
holidays are like my crazy time. Yeah.
So like February, we got
Yeah,
our
we did February.
14-year
It was
wedding anniversary coming
cold
up.
as
Oh, I love
really
that.
cold.
It was. It looked like this outside.
It
was
did, but there
great.
wasn't this much.
There wasn't
snow.
this much snow.
There may be a little bit.
I don't remember. I was drunk.
He was. He was absolutely drunk. I said, "Are you drunk?" He said, "Wow, baby." And then you'll like this one. I'm going to tell you this real quick story.
Oh no.
We were doing our dance, and guess what happened? Don't worry about
He
your
stepped
tea.
on
Like,
your train.
He stepped on my dress. My dress ripped, and I fell just as the moment where my cousin DJ flooded the floor. He was the DJ. He flooded the floor with smoke. So I literally slipped and fell, disappeared into like a pile.
I
of
spun you and I
smoke.
stepped on the thing.
He stepped on my dress. Is why I fell, and then I was flat out on the floor.
Well, you had a
know,
costume
running.
change.
I
You had
popped right back up.
Yeah,
I was
of
like,
course
I'm
you
all
did.
right, everybody.
There is a slow motion shot.
Oh, yeah.
Like
The photographer sent us the pictures and they weren't in there. And I called her and I was like, "What? Where are the pictures of me falling?" And she's like, "I took them out." I was like,
you took them
I
out.
want those pictures right now. I need those pictures so I can be like, "Remember when you made me fail at our wedding?"
We have the nice frame picture of our wedding, but we should frame a few of those.
I love it.
I'm like,
I love
"Is
bad photos.
She's never going to let me forget about it anyway. You know?
Listen, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Whatever I rip the dress, you only going to wear it once.
I'm going to wear it again on our 50th anniversary.
I love it.
Cool.
I love that.
Maybe.
That sounds good.
Christine, thank you so much for
Thank
being
you,
here.
guys.
Where can everybody find you?
You can find me on the internet. So I am the Christine Buzan on Instagram and on TikTok and YouTube. I am Look Good in Photos.
I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much
Yeah,
for
thank
being
you, guys.
here.
Thanks. Hey, thanks, Christine. Thank you.
Oh, I forgot to give you your prize.
Yay!
I think you're very sweet. So this is a watermelon pen.
I
and
love
it. Also
it.
has a magnet, so you can just pop that right on your refrigerator.
Wait, I love it. This is so cute.
Just picked that out.
I love it.
I have
Thank
a pickle
you.
at home. I was like, pickle or watermelon? Pickle or watermelon?
This
I was
is so
like, you're
cool.
giving me, I like sweet, like watermelon. So
Oh, thank you.
thank you for being here.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Christine. Thanks for being on Showing Off.
Yes.
Oh man, Christine Buzan, that was really fun, man.
So amazing.
So much fun. Such great insight about social media and like
And such great ways to think about taking pictures.
Yeah, and bring your confidence up.
Yeah.
And,
And just learn how to do it. It's
Yeah.
a skill.
totally.
We learned. We
Yeah.
had a lesson.
Even afterwards, she showed us how to
know.
pose with the three of us, and it was super helpful.
Well, and some tips and tricks on how you and I can pose together with the tremendous height gap that we have.
Yes, it's definitely some height issues, not issues.
I have no issues.
No, I know you don't.
Uh,
Except when you need something on a high shelf.
Oh. Well, we'll see who has issues when they're 80. Tall people. Anyway.
I'm not touching that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right,
No,
okay.
just kidding.
Short people take up less of a footprint on Earth. We're more green.
You're more green.
Yes, I read an article about it in the New York Times. We use less
sure it
resources
was the
because
New
we're
York Times?
small. It was the New York
It
Times.
was the New York Times.
I have a subscription.
It wasn't like New York NYTYMES.
I'm gonna kill you.
on Instagram.
Your time here is limited.
Like the time I ordered Jordans
From Jordana.
From Jordana.com.
No, it was not. Anyway, it was an amazing
That
chat.
was my fault.
I'm so excited. I learned so much new
Yeah, man.
stuff.
Christine was awesome, man.
And you guys have to check her out
Check her
because everybody can really gain some knowledge and be
Yeah.
pretty empowered by learning how to stand proud in a photo.
Absolutely.
I'm going to get my mom to do it.
I love talking about all the old blog stuff. It was
I know,
cool.
it's so cool,
Reminded me of
this
the
whole
old
thing.
days.
Yep.
Good stuff. Well, thanks for listening to Showing Off, babies. We love you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Christine.
Bye.
Showing Off is brought to you by Base Creatives and produced by Scott Frederick, Ellis Frederick, Sam Fong, Brian Newman, and Angie Pontani. Showing Off is recorded at Brooklyn Podcasting Studios with sound engineer Josh Wilcox. Audio and video post-production editing by Ricky Fernandez. Production coordinator Sam Kuna. Set design by Stephen Hamill. And our theme song, Take Me Back to Brooklyn, is written and performed by yours truly, Brian Newman. Be sure to follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok at Showing Off Pod for even more content from this week's episode.
And don't forget to leave a rating and review.